Alright, so in this video we'll be discussing the appointments, one of my favorite way to generate leads because people are scheduling a specific time and date and submitting of course their information, and you can follow up after that and make a call or an actual offline meeting, or they can just get inside and take your service. If your service is, let's say, something like a schedule an appointment for a lawyer, accountant, maybe a barber, for example, beauty salon, whatever it is, you can do all this generation with the appointments. It's so cool. It's so cool. So let's get inside and let's build your first funnel for appointments. Now, here are some of the templates that you have for appointments. You can also see them under the home section as well. So the appointments, they can be used, again, these templates, they can be fully modified and be used for anything, for lead generation, for lead magnets, for opt-ins, whatever it is, and just by changing that opt-in element. And I'll show you in a few examples. So let's start by picking one of the templates. Here again we have different sections that you can choose from, different templates with different steps inside. So let's just pick one of those designs and start with it. So let's say this one. Let's just click on select and skip this step and add some name to it. Let's say F2. So just like that, we've created our second funnel, which is our funnel for the appointments. So we can again start modifying our pages. We start again with this hero section. Basically, you have to modify this to capture the visitor's attention. That's why it is important to have really cool information about what exactly you do to capture their attention in the first few seconds when they read, to know that you are the person for that task to solve their problems. Here again we have very prominent call to action to book an appointment. You can just double click, edit the button itself however you want to edit it. Then we have some social proof and some of our services. This can be services, this can be benefits. In our case, we have some services with some call to actions, which can go to other pages inside your funnel about that specific services, and we'll be showing in a moment. So here we have other information about our service. Again, call to action, always very important, so that you have call to action throughout your design so people can easily click and go to the next step, which is the actual appointment scheduling. Here we have some testimonials, important for social proof, our team. Again, all these sections are optional. So if you don't want to have such section, you can just remove it, or if you want to change it or duplicate it, for example, you want to have another section like this, you can just copy it. And from the elements here, you can just add it back again and have a new section for your appointments, just like that. Not for the appointments, for the testimonials, of course. Here you have the team, and again, finishing strong with another call to action section so that people can submit their information and actually schedule an appointment, and finishing with a footer as well. So when you're ready with your page, click on Save Changes. So everything, all these sections are made for a reason, which of course you can just delete if you don't need it. If you don't want to have so much information, if you want to just focus on a few things, just delete the things that you don't want. Or if you want to add something extra, just click on Add Block and just add the section. Maybe a gallery you want to showcase of your let's say it's a studio. You can just showcase your studio. Here it's important for people to see. Just add a gallery and add your photos. Very simple. So yeah, let's just do it right now. So we can just add a new block. You can just have a different layout for a gallery, maybe something like this, and we can just delete these headings, and we can just leave our images. Of course, these are images that you can modify. You can select what kind of images you want to add from your file manager, and if you want to make it full width, you can just click on the resize and just make it full width, just like that. We can make them on the whole width of the whole page, and just like that we can just delete these spacers. And this is it. This is how easy it is to add your images and to change the whole layout of your whole funnel. Now on the funnel button, we can again see what kind of steps we get with this particular one, which is the landing page, the booking, which are the main options here, which is the booking is where the appointment is happening. Now, in this case, in this funnel, we have a few other options. So why do we have these pages? Basically, these are optional. Again, if here is clearly stated, if you want to showcase some of your services, for example, some of your benefit services in a dedicated page, but again, still keep them inside the funnel so people can then again take an action on even on those pages. So let's say that you want to link this button to let's say the service 1. Fine, just like that, it is linked. And let's go and see and edit the service page 1. Here we have a design of a service page. We have created a few options, design 2 and 3, which you can use either one or just create it from scratch, of course. But here you can highlight your service, some of your, the most important things. And again, throughout your design, having the call to action. Your main idea, your main goal of your whole funnel is to book an appointment. So that's why even if we are in such service page, the call to action is always there. And at the end, again, we finish with the call to action. So if we go to any of the other service design options, which you can delete if you don't going to be using, again, you have a very prominent call to action. And all these buttons, they always go to the booking section. You must make sure that they go to the booking section so that it goes to the booking appointment. And here we have even 3 call to actions throughout your page. So you can use these steps if you want to showcase a specific service. Again, you're still in the funnel. You're not going outside of it. You're just showing different information. And how do you actually use, let's say, this design for all the services? You can just delete the others if you're not going to use them. And this one you can just duplicate for your other 3 services and you have the same design. So you can duplicate it twice and you have 3 of the same, and you can use it for service 1, service 2, service 3 with the same call to action going to the booking. So let's go to the booking, the actual appointment section. And here we have just a headline, the footer, and the actual booking widget. This is where people are going to be scheduling an appointment. This is a widget that you can start editing by just double clicking, and you can see what kind of information you have inside. So you can do the styling, you can tag users, etc., etc. And change the layout, of course. If you want it to look in a different format, maybe something like that, you can just play around and change the design. But the actual key element is, of course, the actual event that we have to create in the operator. So we've created by default the test event. You can go and edit it right away, or just go and create a new booking event. For this example, let's just go to our booking event, which will go directly to our test event. You can click on back to all booking events to see what kind of events you have inside your booking section, which is up top, the appointments. So you can create a new one or just edit the existing one. That's up to you. Now, what are the important parts? The event name, the description, and where is the location of this event going to be happening. If it is an online event, make sure you add the information on how they can, get inside this online event. If it's Zoom meeting, for example, or a Skype meeting, you can just have the ID or the link for the meeting. So you can just add it here in the location of the event. If it's an offline, of course, you can add an address and instructions on how to get there. Now, the next thing, the operators. So this is actually the person that people will be using to book an appointment to. So here you can create your operator. So in this case, we have a test user. Of course, you can just delete it and you can create a new operator. So how you create an operator, you just add a name to it. Let's call it John, for example. And let's add an email to John. You can have a description for him. You can add an image if you wish for John, and a color coding. So this is if you have more operators to distinguish each one in the schedules, so that you can see, let's say the blue is John and red is for Susan, for example, or whatever. And of course you can connect the Google Calendar. So that will check in the Google Calendar the availability, and also when somebody books an appointment, that will take a slot from the Google Calendar and book it for that person. So in this case, we of course will not be connecting Google Calendar, but you can do it, and we encourage that as well. So click on save. Well, actually we reached an operator image. Well, you actually have such. We also use that for the test user. So let's use user 2 for this new operator. And just like that, we've added it, and you can add it to the event, and you can unlink the other one if you wish, or just keep the two of them. But for this example, let's just keep the two of them so that you can see that people can actually choose which of the two they want to schedule an appointment with. Of course, if you want people to automatically be assigned to one of the operators, you can have this section as well. And services I will show you in a moment. Now we can go to the next section, which is the availability. You can set up availability for the test user, for the John user, and you can do it either one-on-one session for single sessions, maybe again a booking call, for example, to discussing a demo call, let's say, or maybe a hair appointment with one-on-one, or you can do a group meeting, maybe a yoga meeting for 10 people, or a workshop for 20 people. So you can do group ones if you wish. In this case, let's just do a one-on-one meeting, and let's do for test to be a group meeting of, let's say, 15 people, just to have some more diversity and to show you different ways. Here you can set different settings, availability, when you're available, and what days you might want to exclude, with increments, with notice before the meeting, and how many basically is your buffer, and what is the limitation of sessions per day for this operator. So you can adjust quite a lot of things very easily. And now let's go to the next, which is the form. So this is the form. These are the questions that you'll be asking the user to submit before booking an appointment with you. So we have by default the name, email, and phone. Of course, you can edit those and add whatever you wish, of course. Maybe terms and conditions you want them to have, maybe a city or address, whatever you wish. You can just add either as a property or as a new field that you want to add to your form. So play around, ask whatever questions you want, and don't forget to make them required if you want people to be required to fill this information, of course. And click on save. At the end, you can have a custom thank you message and a call to action. If not, well, of course, a page as well. You can just link to a custom thank you page as well. Or you can just leave it blank. That will just preview with automatic message. So you can just leave it as it is. That's completely fine. And click on save changes. That's it. That's basically how you create an event. Just make sure you go through the different steps and set up the different aspects of your event. And this is it. You just created your event, and inside your funnel, which is already pre-selected in the next step. But if it wasn't, you'll be actually having to select what is the event to which you want people to be booking an appointment to. And as you can see, it kind of changed because now we have the option for the test user and John. And then let's actually see the funnel from the beginning. So how it actually works, and explain the section. So now we have the landing page, which is driving people to learn more about the business, and of course to book an appointment. So they can see services, they can go to a service page, learn again about the information about the whole thing, and call to action, going to the next step, which is the booking, which is the actual action that we want them to take. Oh, actually we closed the appointment funnel, but yeah, here are the homepage sections that we've added, the galleries and other things. And let's just click and go to the actual booking an appointment. This is the actual page where everything is happening. And that's why I said, if this page you modify to something else, to a form, to a quiz, or whatever you wish, that will be the thing that will be generating the lead. In our case, we have the booking an appointment because that's the idea behind this type of a funnel that we are showing in this video. And we have the two operators, like I said. If you had an image, you would have an image here as well, but we don't in this case. So the John is the person with single booking appointments, so you can pick a date in their calendar from the availability. Again, if you had a calendar connected, this might vary because John might have different availabilities. Anyways, regardless, people can select a time frame and just book an appointment. They can go back at any point to a previous step and go to the first step, where is selecting an operator. And let's select this time the test one. And here you will see the actual meetings, which are the group ones. We created this one as a group one, maximum with 15 people. And here you can see the actual slots available for these meetings. They're a bit different, as you can see in design as well. And people can book an appointment, and again, for that user, but it is with multiple basically attendees. So let's book for 17th for 10 a.m. and in a moment we'll see how it will be. Actually 14 slots left because we already booked. So let's add some information here. It doesn't matter, just to book the appointment. So here we have the summary, and basically this is it. We completed our form, our booking appointment form, and we completed the goal. That was the goal of the funnel. Again, if you had a custom message, you can have some call to action so that people can take another action after booking the call. Maybe watch something, go to some other page, whatever you want them to take. So now if we again preview our appointment, and if we select test, you'll see that for 10 a.m. now we have 14 slots left because one was already taken by our booking. Now if it was a single slot, a single person, of course that time would be taken, but for John, as we didn't book anything, it is still available. Now you can see in the contacts that user that was just created, and you can see inside the booking event, you can see what time slot it was taken for, what was the event for, so you can easily see that information, and of course cancel if you don't want to have an appointment with this person. But you can see the color coding, you can see the time slot for this user, so you can see more details about the whole booking of that particular user. It's very, very useful, very simple. As you can see, it created a property, all the information is associated, and you can see the booking. You can also see this information in the booking calendar as well. When you go to the schedule, you can actually see the schedule of all the bookings that are upcoming. This is for today. You can see the event. If you have more people, you'll see them here listed in a table format because this is a group meeting. Of course, if it's a single one, it's going to be just like as it is right now. And now to finish is the services. Basically, if you have, let's say, again, an example, if you have different services to which you want people to schedule on a meeting, you can just list them here. So for example, let's say that you are a hairdresser salon. So you have different services. You may have, let's say, 4 different services with different even time slots that they take. Let's say a man haircut is, let's say, 15 minutes, but a woman is, let's say, 45 minutes. So you can create different services with different time frames from here, with different images, with different tags even, so that when somebody books an appointment with that, this tag will also be associated with this user. So this way you can create those, and when somebody is booking an appointment, they can actually pick to which service they want to book an appointment. This is so useful if you have different services, different time slots, so people can schedule for the appropriate service, and of course for the appropriate operator. So that's why when you build an event, that's why here was the option to link a service to an operator, so that if you create one, you can just link it, or of course you'll have to have multiple. That's the better option, or at least two, I guess, because if you just have one, yeah, you can just have it as a normal availability. So this is it. Basically, this is how simple it was to create an event, to create an operator, create a service if you want, and set up your availability. Everything connected in one ecosystem. The event, the contacts in the CRM, the actual funnel where people can, learn information about your business, schedule their appointment in a simple and beautiful format. So these are the appointments, one of my favorite ways to generate leads, and not just generate leads, but actually have an appointment for whatever online or offline event or thing that you're trying to do, single, one-on-one, or with group meetings. This is for me the best possible way to generate leads and convert them to actual customers. And I hope that you enjoy them. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. And in the next one, we'll be talking about lead magnets. So if you're interested in that, check out the next video as well. Thank you.